It's time now for Money Matters, where we talk about some of the biggest stories impacting your wallet this week. I'm Jonathan Martin. Well, a year after we first reported about SNAP delays, 11 Alive has learned the state is still behind with tens of thousands of cases. And right now we're tracking what Georgia is doing to tackle the problem for families who depend on these benefits to buy food. Liza Lucas has been investigating every twist and turn of this story and explains where things stand now.
Angela Davis and her daughter live in Stone Mountain. Angela recently lost her job, so she applied for SNAP benefits to help the two get by. But she says her interview date came and went with no call, and getting updates has been tough.
I tried to call the caseworker on numerous occasions. Her mailbox was full. She listed her supervisor, Ms. Martin. Her mailbox was full.
For more than a year, we've told you about Georgia's delays with issuing SNAP benefits and a backlog of cases with people seeking renewals. Documents obtained by 11 Alive show the state moved nearly 200 staff members starting in June to help with that backlog. But that move means there are fewer caseworkers to handle new applications. And now 46,000 of those new applications are overdue.
In the meantime, we've been going to food pantries, having support from friends and family.
Federal law requires states to process SNAP benefits for eligible families within 30 days. 3 months after the USDA called on Georgia to fix delays, the state's plan is still not approved. The latest version from the state reveals continuing problems with staffing, but also data. Documents show the report that's supposed to tell caseworkers which applications are pending is inconsistent as cases disappear and reappear. DHS did not answer our question about when those issues started, but said the system is enhanced and refined on a regular basis. Meanwhile, Angela's effort to get answers leaves her among the many feeling helpless.
It makes you feel like your needs are not important. The people who are suffering right now because of the price of living is at the bottom of the priority list.
How do you feel about the U.S. economy? Well, that is the core question behind the Consumer Confidence Index just released. Amy Kiley reports.
The Consumer Confidence Index is out today, but a simpler measure of how Americans feel about the economy might be a trip to the supermarket.
Families still had to put food on the table in the face of a food price surge.
Wage growth isn't making up for historically high prices completely. A new report shows record U.S. credit card debt in the fourth quarter of last year. It's not as bad when adjusted for inflation, and that inflation is cooling. But in the meantime, Kellogg's is now advertising cereal as a dinner food.
If you think about the cost of cereal for a family versus what they might otherwise do, that's going to be much more affordable.
And with a lawsuit filed yesterday, the Federal Trade Commission is trying to block the largest supermarket merger in American history. Kroger and Albertsons say uniting would offset the cost of their unionized workforces. The FTC argues the deal would reduce competition and raise food prices. Its suit could be a follow-up to a campaign promise.
There are still too many corporations in America ripping people off. Price gouging, junk fees, greedflation, shrinkflation.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
The Department of Education announced updates to the form that prospective college students fill out to receive financial aid. The first update to the FAFSA form involves how the department calculates the amount of aid students will get. Under the new approach, 7.3 million students are expected to be eligible for Pell Grants. The department is also going to send support personnel to lower resource colleges to do needs assessments and help students with student aid offer packages. So the third update is a faster approach for processing student records. As college tuition costs continue to rise, experts say it's important for parents to start saving and planning early for their child's education. Now, one of the most common savings plans is called a 529, and there are some new changes to how these accounts work that may make them more appealing. Jen Sullivan breaks down what parents need to know.
When it comes to saving for college, there are 3 types of accounts parents should know about. Savings account. Your child can use the money for anything, and there's no penalty for withdrawals, but the interest you earn may be lower than other options. Custodial account. No withdrawal penalties as long as the funds are used for the child. Returns are taxed at the child's tax rate. The account can't be transferred to someone else. 529 plan, your money is invested over a period of years. Any return you earn is exempt from federal taxes. If you direct the funds towards educational expenses, your withdrawals are tax-free. Tony Durkin with Fidelity Investment says 529s offer great benefits.
A 529 is a great tax advantage way to save and pay for qualified educational expenses.
New this year, unused money can be rolled over into a Roth IRA.
That was a barrier to entry for some folks to get into 529s because they didn't know what would happen with those unused money.
Here's how that works. The 529 must be held for the designated beneficiary, in this case your child, for at least 15 years. The transfer amount is subject to IRS limits. It's $7,000 in 2024. There's also a $35,000 lifetime cap for each beneficiary. The tax benefits are a big selling feature.
Every state's different, but a lot of states offer a state tax deduction for contributions made to a 529 account.
And when it comes to savings, contribute as much as you can and often. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
More relief for college graduates. The Biden administration is forgiving $1.2 billion in student loans. That affects more than 150,000 borrowers. This is all part of President Biden's SAVE plan. The money goes toward borrowers who have been paying back their debt for a decade or longer and initially took out $12 grand or less. If you are included, the Department of Education says you should have gotten an email. The new SAVE repayment plan for federal student loan borrowers may come with another advantage. It could also make it easier to buy a home. So the SAVE plan can cut borrowers' monthly payments in half. It could even leave some with no bill to pay at all. According to a 2021 report by the National Association of Realtors, half of student loan borrowers who haven't yet purchased a home say their education debt is delaying them from doing so. Now, here's how the SAVE plan could change that. People using the plan will have their debt-to-income ratio lowered. The ratio is a key factor in whether you are approved or denied for a loan, and you want to keep it low to get approved. Now, starting in July, an even bigger perk of the plan will be available. Instead of paying 10% of your discretionary income toward your loans, borrowers will now only have to pay 5%. Experts say the smaller monthly payment could help people put more in their savings and reach their down payment goal faster. If you are an AT&T customer who experienced a recent network outage, the company now says it is going to reimburse you. Tens of thousands of customers dealt with error messages or no service connection at all. AT&T says it will issue a $5 credit to potentially impacted wireless customers. Regional disruptions to service nationwide are rare, and the Federal Communications Commission says it is investigating the incident. Wendys is going to try something new, and you may end up paying more for your food. The fast food chain is going to try what it's calling surge pricing. That means prices will fluctuate throughout the day depending on the demand. The cost will update in real time on their menu board. Right now, it's unclear how much prices could spike.